Go.
Hi everyone, welcome back. For the next project that we're going to be creating, we are going to be breaking it up into 3 different parts. So there will be 3 different videos and they will be spread along 3 different day assignments. Our first part is going to be collecting and preparing our materials. What we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be making a braided coaster. So what I would suggest you do is find an old t-shirt that you don't wear, or even an old t-shirt from someone in your family that they don't wear it anymore or they've outgrown it, and you are going to be using that as your material for your coaster. So what I actually have is I have a bunch of t-shirt sleeves that I had cut off shirts. I in the past have used them as headbands, but I'm using these as my supplies for this project. So you can use t-shirts like this or the sleeves like this if you'd like. If you have a regular full-size t-shirt, you can cut them off the bottom edge here, okay, and you'll kind of get a better idea when I start showing how to do it with the t-shirt sleeve, but you can utilize this bottom edge to create our strips that we're going to be braiding together. So what I'm going to do with this t-shirt sleeve, I'm actually going to turn it inside out so I can see the seam a lot easier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this seam out so that I have just one long strip. I just have kind of safety scissors. These are just Crayola safety scissors, so you don't need any fancy scissors to be cutting your fabric and your materials. Just find a pair of scissors that work best for you. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm just going to cut along this edge, and I'm just going to cut that seam out. And it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, and I've cut my seam out. So now I have a nice flat edge, or a flat piece of fabric. It's not a loop anymore. And I've also done that with my green one here. Okay, and I'm gonna work on what will be the wrong side of the fabric, or the wrong side of the t-shirt sleeve. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna flip this green one over. I've already started marking it, so I'm gonna continue marking it. And what I'm working to do is have 1-inch strips. And I'm actually just measuring right from where this hemline is to start my first marking. So when I cut it out, I'm actually going to cut this hemline off. So I'm just going to do a little mark. You probably will want to use some sort of a marker or a pen rather than a pencil, just because it'll be a little bit easier for your fabric. And I'm just like we did last week, I'm doing multiple spots so that I'll be able to connect all my lines with my ruler. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna line them up, all those markings, with my ruler. And I'm gonna draw. I'll match it up here. And again, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. We're going to be braiding these strips, so they're all going to kind of fold onto each other. So if your stripe isn't exactly perfect, or your strip is not exactly perfect, it's not going to be the end of the world. So as you can see, my fabric is kind of stretched in different ways, so what I'm doing is just kind of moving my fabric underneath my ruler so that all of my little markings match up. And then I'll do one more. Now what I suggest you do is have about 50 inches of strip. Okay, so these pieces are, from what I have measured, are about 18 inches long. So I'm gonna plan to have 3, okay, that are this color. I'm doing different colors. You certainly don't have to do different colors. You can use the same t-shirt and just do them all the same color. But I'm gonna do different colors. It'll make it a little easier when I start showing the braiding if I have different colors. All right, so then I have my strips all drawn out. And what I'm gonna do is start cutting them. And as I said, I'm gonna cut this little, this hem off. So that's gonna be my first part. Just cutting right along that hem line. If you're using the bottom of one of your t-shirts, you probably will only have to cut 1 strip to give you that 50 inches, or very close to just 1 strip. And I dropped down on the floor. So there I have 1 strip. I have some others that I've already cut. Okay, so I have several orange ones. I'll end up cutting the rest of these green ones to give me some more of my green. And then I'll do another color as well. I'll do my yellow. Okay, as I was talking about with our regular size t-shirt, if you wanted to work on from the bottom, what you could do is you could cut this hem off, just like I did with my sleeve. And then you can cut your strip, and then what you can do is just cut on one side, okay, go up along one side so that you'll have 1 just long strip rather than a tube, okay? Now, whatever you have left over from your t-shirts after you cut from them, make sure that you save them because we likely will use them in future projects. If you don't have any t-shirts and your family members don't have any t-shirts that they can spare, you certainly can use any other type of fabrics. You could use old pillowcases or old sheets. Another good option would be an old beach towel. Okay, this one's really rough. It would be good to repurpose it rather than continue to use it at the beach. You may want to do them a little bit thinner than the 1 inch if you're doing it with a towel, just because the towel is a thicker material than the t-shirt. But a towel would be a great substitution as well. I hope that you are able to get all of your materials put together, measured and cut. And our next video will be talking about braiding our pieces together so that we can make our coaster. See you soon.